Alrighty, and hello everybody. This is Pastor Sherman Ray, and this is This Week in Prophecy. I want to welcome you all to the broadcast today, and hope everybody's doing well today. That this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This has been a crazy week, guys. It really has. Matter of fact, we were doing a show earlier today, and matter of fact, I was just told by somebody, they said only half the show was actually broadcast. So if you were watching us earlier for a previous show, we will have all the show in there because we record everything. So, but we'll try to get that whole entire show up there for you. And also, I want to let you guys know that starting next week, we're actually going to have, because we actually have just uploaded all of our shows for This Week in Prophecy on our own channel. Yeah, our own YouTube channel. So not only do we have our own channel on Godstream TV, but we're going to actually have our own channel on YouTube. So starting next week, you'll be able to go straight to This Week in Prophecy and watch us interact with us on there. And we'll be sure to let you guys all know about it even throughout the show and just kind of remind you that that's what we're doing. But for today, we've got the show up on Godstream, and so we want to make sure that you're actually checking out the show. There it goes. I'm gonna make sure I open up the chat line on it. But remember, next week, folks, we're going to be over on This Week in Prophecy, so we'll remind you about that over and over and over again throughout the show. Before we get to going too much further, want to bring in our guest host on the show, Aaron Newton. Aaron, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, what's happening? Did you bring me over too fast? I was getting a drink.
No.
Oh, man.
No, timing is everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Yeah. So how are things going, brother? You've had a busy weekend, I would say.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I tell you, I drove on Friday morning, like 3:00 in the morning. I went to California, which is about a 3.5 hour drive. My son graduated from college, and then so I went to see that. And then the next day, we just kind of hung out in Pasadena, and then I drove home in the evening time. And then I've been organizing some stuff. My mom left me a steamer trunk completely full with McDonald's Happy Meal toys from like all the way back in the 70s or late, it was 79, I think, all the way to present day. And so I was kind of organizing those and putting them in Ziploc baggies and labeling them. So when I was done, I just threw them back in the trunk. Like, I don't know what to do with this.
See, that's got to be fun, though. I mean, really, wasn't it fun doing that? Or maybe not.
Well, maybe the first 10 minutes.
So
you got like 50 Milan toys, and then 500 Hot Wheels, and it's like, all right, okay.
Those are the best. They are the best, man. So did you have the Hamburglar and stuff like that? And
oh yeah, there was all kinds of stuff. Oh, I mean, all the way from like I said, the first. I remember these when I was a kid. They were like little toothbrushes, and on the end was a hamburger, and then the other one was McDonald's, and then they had little combs that had like Grimace on them, and she had
Grimace.
Yes. Yeah, she had those in organized, and then, but all the rest of them were just thrown in this chest, and so she'd go every week and get just buy the toy, or she told me a long time ago that she had would steal them after we'd open and play with them. She would steal them and throw them in the chest. And so like, okay, that's cool. Thanks. But then, I mean, there was stuff I brought, like when I was living overseas, I bought like these Hello Kitty dolls that they had at McDonald's, and they were like little wedding, like it was like a bride and a groom in a Korean traditional one, a Japanese, and then a Chinese. And I sent all these home to her so she could expand their collection from overseas and stuff. And so there was just so much stuff. And I'm looking through it and I'm like, I remember this. I remember playing with this, like as a little kid from the there was a set of these little, remember the Mac Tonight? It was like a little guy and he had a big moon head.
Sure.
And they had a whole little set of those. She had them all. And I just, oh my goodness, I'm just like, wow, I remember playing with some of these,
And this is why people buy those things, is because, and that's why they're so valuable, is because people love those things and they remember them quite well. So I'm glad. I'm glad you got blessed with that, and so that's great.
Yeah, I would say
So
most of them are still in the packaging. So I
even,
just, yeah,
yeah,
it's
even
pretty
better.
amazing she did that.
Even better. Um, you know, um, I've been doing some studying on Hebrew words and
Hmm.
Hebrew numerology, that kind of stuff. And even as we've been talking about some of the prophetic stuff, it's been very interesting to kind of lace together some of the Hebrew nuances that
Hmm.
that are available. And here's the interesting thing about it is that there are certain words in Hebrew that um, correspond to what we're going through right now. And what I mean by this is that there's certain words like generations. Okay, there's the word generation, and the word
Sure.
generation talks about the Hebrew generation and the church age generation, and how we don't that the Hebrews did not possess um, the revelation of Jesus Christ. So they're so the word generation is spelt a little different.
Okay.
Okay, we as Gentiles do not have the heritage of our Jewish ancestry by generally. Okay, generally we don't have that. Okay, so the word that they talk about for us as a generation is spelt a little different from the word generation, also. Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna probably in the coming weeks, and I'm gonna share this with you too, Aaron, because I think it's gonna probably just I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, looking at this book and some the